Hi, everyone. It's Maddie.
And this is Bleeves, and we are here to cry quite a bit tonight because the Chicago Bears dropped another heartbreaker. This time, Tyson Bagent had 3 interceptions, one fumble to go along with DJ Moore's fumble, meaning the Chicago Bears, went into New Orleans with a lot of hopes and a lot of dreams and came away with turning the ball over 5 times in a heartbreaking 17-24 loss. How are you feeling today, Maddie?
Honestly, I'm just like kind of numb to it, but I truly just don't think I expected 5 turnovers. And I'm still kind of like trying to wrap my mind around it. I can't believe it. We were asking more of the defense from last week. And first half they were so bad. Oh my God. Like, did they even I I heard that the Saints didn't get their first non like converted on a third down until the third quarter.
Yep.
Like, that's nuts. But, we want more from defense, and now offense takes 5 steps back. It was bad. What do you think?
Yeah. Disheartening because I was live streaming it from on X. I was going trying to go play by play as best I could. And the first series, we score a touchdown. We're up 7-0. Then we get the ball back and we're ready to go again. And then that's when the first turnover comes into play, the first interception, and that allows the New Orleans Saints to come back and make it 7-7. Then we march down the field again and we make it 14-7. Now, had that not happened, this would be a 21-0 game, and we wouldn't be having this conversation because we'd be down one of those turnovers. And you add that 7 points, it changes the dynamic to the game. Up
Yeah.
21-0, it's a 4-point swing. So now you're looking at a 24-17, and I said 31-17 to begin with. So I can see where my prediction was without the turnovers. So very
Yeah.
disheartening, very disappointing.
Yeah, no, it is. I think my prediction was 24-10, the Saints winning.
Yep.
I lost of words, the offense. I can't believe it. Seeing DJ Moore, fumble like that was a little like it just was upsetting and stuff like I don't know. And Tyson Bagent, like that fourth quarter was pretty ugly. It's when you ask the defense to get the stops and they got the stops. And we had multiple times to score and he turned the ball over. It was pretty football.
At every given opportunity, the defense, I want to say, stepped up when it was mattering.
Yeah, the whole game matters, but in the moment of it, they stepped up. They got the down. Like what we were, they got the stop, and there was like 2 minutes and 30 seconds and left in the game, and we can go downfield easily. And oh, it was ugly.
Yeah, it was. Let's look at the stats real quick. You can see here Tyson Bagent, not a horrible game. 18 of 30 for 220 yards, 2 touchdowns. It's the 3 interceptions
Yeah.
that obviously sink the team right there. Without those interceptions, how does this team fare? And I think they fare a whole lot better.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
if you take rushing, we had Deonta Foreman has just another banger of a game, and Tyson Bagent has a great game as well. 20 for 83, and then Tyson Bagent 8 for 70. Even Roshan got into the game a little bit. Darrington Evans, Tyler Scott, not a lot of running beyond Deontay and Tyson, but you don't need it when you have 28 carries for 153 yards.
Yeah, I agree.
And then when you got 6 for 55 and 2 touchdowns,
He had a
you got
great game.
Darnell Mooney 5
Great.
for 82, DJ Moore 3 receptions, 44 yards, no touchdowns, and a fumble. And the worst part is DJ Moore wasn't getting the ball enough. The
Yeah.
ball wasn't coming his way. So what are you gonna do?
So can we talk about this?
Yeah.
Why these past 2 games now a little bit? Why are we trying to play the long ball now?
So here's what I think. I think that if you go to last week when Justin Herbert was having his way, at the very beginning of that game, we were trying to stretch the field just a little bit, but when we were making the little dink passes, they were covering that. They were covering the running back coming out of the backfield. And I think that caused them to look at it and say, well, we need to go downfield a little bit more. And Luke Getsy likes that downfield passing game. And they also, I think, wanted to open it up to see what they had with Tyson Bagent. Well, now they know that, I thought there was a tremendous amount of upside, and I still do, but I think that this is a testament for people that Justin Fields is just the better option at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I think Tyson for sure proved he is a backup, and he can be a backup in the NFL. But I do think it kind of these past two games kind of have exposed that he is better off as a backup, and I don't know if he's at the point of his career where he can lead an NFL team to consistent victory. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see. Hopefully, I kind of want to see Justin Fields back on Thursday. Did they announce that he's back or not yet?
Not yet.
Okay, well, I hope he is just because I kind of want to just see how the game plan is now with Justin Fields. But yeah, it was a little disheartening for Dyson. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, let me also point out a statistic here, and I'm going to check it real quick because I want to make sure that I got the right number. But I'm telling you right now that statistically, you don't like to see you don't like to see what you saw, right? However, when you look at season by season with Peyton Manning 18 interceptions in his first season.
Oh wow.
So it is not untoward for us to consider that perhaps
Oh
we're
my God,
being a
sorry.
little over that
Good.
maybe we're being a little overcritical of what he's doing. Like, are we seeing on the field the potential? And I think that the answer to that should be yes,
I
because
agree.
he's about completion, which as I look at Peyton Manning was about 68% for his career, but 56% in his first season. Went 3-13, and I'm sorry, did I say 18? I meant to
Yeah.
say he had 28 interceptions. So
Wow.
Peyton Manning's first season, 26 touchdowns, 28 interceptions. That means he was giving up almost 2 interceptions per game. So just to put that into a little bit of perspective, and I'm not trying to compare Tyson Bagent to Peyton Manning. There's no comparison, but you can look statistically, and you can see that even the greatest of quarterbacks, not named Tom Brady, still struggle just a little bit with learning the speed of this game.
Yes.
Tyson Bagent is learning that the NFL is a much faster thing than anything that he's ever seen. And the question is whether or not he'll adapt to it. And I think that the answer to that is he's got the ability and he's got the opportunity to do it. So I don't know whether he will or not, but I do think that he's learned a lot. And I think he's a guy who's probably going to learn from mistakes.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
he felt pressure to make plays today, and that pressure didn't serve him well, but it will perhaps become a learning tool for him, and that he'll learn a lesson from this, and maybe he'll be a better quarterback going forward in case we need him for one more game at least.
Yeah, I mean, it is a quick turnaround again playing Thursday, so you never know with the Justin Field situation. But again, I feel like he doesn't deserve like, hatred towards him or like degrading him and stuff like that. Like whatever we always see like on Twitter. Oh my God, people were like, there's a reason why he's a D2 quarterback, blah, blah, blah. I mean, he's a rookie quarterback in the league. Like we should expect mistakes. It just, it stinks. Honestly, to have five turnovers and only lose by a touchdown is kind of impressive. But yeah, it's still upsetting. So
Speaking of mistakes, can we talk about Velas Jones Jr.?
no, I don't want to ever waste my breath on him.
Didn't I see you sharing that video, or at least laughing about that video of
The
him?
highlight reel.
Yeah, his little highlight reel was an absolute disaster, and I saw it everywhere, and people were sharing it at him.
Yeah, because he tweets, he know who I am. For this is one of my my that bother me. Everybody has a right to everyone has a right to post what they want to post, but when you are a professional athlete, like especially in that heat of the moment where he was cost us that game, I would say in a way. Like I'm not you can't full blame on someone in a team sport, but like he really has cost us quite a few like big time points in games and the penalty and it's like how many mistakes does he get?
15-yard personal foul when you need to play clean, and when you need every yard, he comes through with just a bad play at the wrong time all over again. When does he make a good play? That becomes
Yeah,
the
I
question.
agree.
When does he make a good play at this point?
Yeah, and like, when is he stepping up and doing something to make it? And it's just, I don't want to see him on this roster next year because clear they am this year, but like I can't, I can't.
Yeah.
It's frustrating. How many times we have as a team though? I think
Uh,
15 plus at least.
yeah. So here's something that was fascinating to me. It turns out that Braxton Jones has 5 false starts, and he's been
Wow.
injured most of the season.
The Bears lead the league in false starts.
Yeah.
That, oh my God, how undisciplined are we? That fuels me, like that feels like bad energy in me because of the penalties. Like, it's just a lack of focus. It's This team is never prepared ever.
Feels like a gross lack of discipline on the team. And I do stress again, I say all the time because these guys are paid a lot of money. You can't really pretend that they're college kids. You have to treat them like men.
Yeah,
And these are men that are making these mistakes. And how do you correct the discipline in men? And there are plenty of coaches out there who do it. You do have plenty of disciplined teams, but when you are not focused on those little things, when you have an offensive line coach who is not making sure that that offensive line is not getting penalized. In fact, I will say this: after we watched Caleb Williams cry Saturday night, they fired their defensive coordinator today. So,
the
uh,
USC did.
yeah, yeah, Lincoln Riley fired the defensive coordinator, Alex Finch, I believe his name.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, at least someone has balls to do something, I guess. But I honest, I don't really keep up much with college football in general. What what was the situation with Caleb Williams? And like, I don't even know. Like, I saw the video of him like hovering over to his mom and like putting something up, like, so we can't see what he says. But what's the case with that? Is he like upset his team? I mean, like, I don't get it.
In the heat of battle, you are emotional. He's a Heisman Trophy winner. He wanted to be back to back Heisman Trophy winner. He wanted to prove that he was the best in college football. He wanted to prove that he could lead a team to victory. And the things that are out of his control, which are defensive play, have been letting him down dramatically. And he's been having a great season.
Okay.
However, his defense has let him down every step of the way. And how do you get that bad on defense? That's and it is. I am a star. I'm a superstar. I am above this. I can lead my team to victory. We can't score every time. You can't score every point. You can't do everything. You have, it's a team game, and you have to have your team step up. And that defense has been an absolute disaster. And I will say this because I've been here before. Remember, I'm from Louisville, so
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson was my guy, and they went into Florida. That Florida State came to Louisville a few years ago, and Louisville beat the absolute pants off of them. I want to say it was like 52-10 or 62
Okay.
to 10. It's a ridiculous score. And Florida State is an all-time that's one of the blue bloods of
Yeah.
football. And then all the way through the season, they got to Clemson, and they lost a heartbreaker to Clemson because a homegrown talent thought he got a first down, and he was 4th and 1, and he forgot that extra yard, so he made like a mental mistake.
Wow.
And I mean, when you have those breakdowns, Lamar Jackson's like, "I got your back, I got your back, I got your back." But that moment that they lost, the defense unraveled, and they proceeded to lose 3 games that season that they were, I mean, basically they were 10-1 and had that opportunity. And then the next season they came back and they were only 8-5. Lamar Jackson was better, but their defense was worse. And he was a Heisman Trophy winner who came back to basically, I don't disrespectful to the defense. I mean, it was a second rate defense. They did not perform. So, I saw it with Lamar Jackson. I know he was feeling the same way. He didn't jump into the crowd and cry to his mother, uh, but he probably would have if he could, and maybe he did, and we just didn't catch it on TV. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I don't think this is a bad thing for Caleb Williams. I think this is really an illustration of his passion for the game.
Yeah, I
And
was gonna say, I mean, I saw they lost. I don't really keep up again, but what I see of Caleb Williams on Twitter and like highlights on TV, he just seems really like he wants to win a lot. and everybody wants that. It just sucks that, like, today's world, we catch like one glimpse of like him going over the fence to his mom, and everyone's like, oh my God, he's a big baby, blah, 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 whatever he wants. It,
It's the witches who never did it. It's the little babies who can't make it. Those are the people that are doing that because they don't know what it's like to be that successful. They don't know what it's like to win at that level. They don't even know what
yeah,
it's like to play at that level. Anybody who's at that level or been at that level or played at that level or been part of something at that level would not talk that way about what he was doing. Now
yeah,
we can joke about it and we can say, well, he's crying, but you know what? That's his passion for the game. That's his passion for. He feels like, and what I think that he feels like he did everything he could, and it wasn't enough. And he
mm-hmm,
felt like he didn't feel like the defense let him down. He felt like he let that defense down
yeah,
because he should have scored two more times. He should have their back, and that's the heart of a champion. That's what you saw right there. In my opinion, you saw the heart of a champion, and it just didn't work out for him that day.
yeah. I don't know. I mean, what do you think? Should we draft him?
If I were me at this point, then I would not be looking to draft Caleb Williams. I would be looking to win some games right now. I would be looking right now to address the offensive line specifically right now
Yeah,
because that's you can't have all starts. You can't like Braxton Jones came back, had a great game by the way, had a great game. However, you can't make those little boneheaded plays. Cody Whitehair can't just roll the ball to Tyson Bagent on one play. What the is going with that?
yeah,
There's so many little pieces that you have to fix with that offensive line, and that's not Justin Fields. That's not Tyson Bagent.
yeah,
You can only do so much dancing with the devil until something bad happens. And that offensive line has got to be better. They've got to be reliable, more reliable than they currently are. I think overall, by the way, while I'm saying this, they actually had a pretty good game. They gave Tyson Bagent time to throw. They
yeah.
gave him lanes. You got to do something more though, like not get penalties. If you do
Yeah.
that, most of the problem solved.
I think we got kind of go back in the years though. Like the O line has consistently been a problem. Like
Mhm.
consistently been a problem. But these past 2 years, the lack of discipline with the O line is infuriating now. It's
Mhm.
really infuriating. The softness that I see, and just like, constant mistakes from the same people. Who does, like, how are you not learning from your mistakes? And I get it. They're grown men. They're paid a bunch of money, and you know, I would argue, well, they don't they like they truly don't care enough to win. And like, why do we want that on our team?
Sometimes you don't know those things until you get them there. So
True.
you know that's one of those pieces that the heart of a champion. Not everybody has that. Not everybody performs really well. I had this crazy thing to get off track. Like if I were a coach, I would be having like emergency drills. It's the last of the game. Shoot a free throw right now. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Go shoot a free throw. And if you can shoot the free throw with the game on the line, if I can convince you the game's on the line and you airball, well, you're on team two. Uh,
Yeah.
you're not on team one. And then I would be teaching team one how to cover and how to do what they're doing. And then for team two, I would be teaching them that all those things that you're feeling right now, all of those emotions that get in your way right there, we're all getting them. You're just not reacting the right way to them. And then I would be working on how they can be better in the clutch, like when the pressure of the game is on, like how to fix that. Like, because I'm a nerd about these kind of things, but we could have at least something where we could talk to teach these guys a little bit more of take a deep breath, do some yoga, do some meditation, like learn how to control your emotion, like stop letting things get out of hand. You're doing too much of that.
Yeah, and I think I'm emotional in general, and I'm really passionate. But it for you always comment on like my stuff, like about the culture here
Mhm.
with the Bears organization, and I think it just like portrays in our offensive line in a way, like they just lack of discipline. Always will go back to culture and like accountability. Them, how do you not want to protect your quarterback? No, like,
Mhm.
do they really have each other's back? It's stuff like that always just goes back to the culture of the organization. And it's just like not a we lost like this we're the Chicago Bears winning mentality that like Really hasn't been much my day, but like what you guys have maybe seen in the past. So it's just the O line is question of concern for sure.
There's no heart in that casts its that shadow that the other people are part of. There's no
Yeah.
Cody Whitehair is not a vocal leader. Like he doesn't go out there. Like what the Bears need more than anything would be an elite person who's a motivator, who goes out there and says, "I will do my job. I will not make a mistake. I will not screw up. I need you guys to help me do that." And just reinforce that constantly, that that's what you need. And those are that's the kind of leadership that's very rare, but when you find it, you have to cultivate it. And I think that there might even be Darnell Wright seems like a great player.
Yeah.
But he's also a rookie. So can he become a vocal leader? Can he step up? Can he bring some calmness to that offensive line? So, I don't know that he can. I don't know that they will respect the fact that he tries to or anything like that, or if he's even capable of it. But
Yeah.
somebody has to be that person. And we don't have a person like that on that line right now, even though, no matter how much you want it, it's just not there. Lucas Patrick, mistakes. Cody Whitehair, mistakes. I mean, again, I say this even
Easy.
though they're not doing a horrible job right now. They're actually putting up some resistance. They're actually creating a pocket. They're actually protecting pretty well. But I think that they've just got to have that leader that sets the standard by
Hmm.
which everybody else has to perform, and that he just he sets the table for everybody. And I just don't think that's there, and I would love to see it.
I agree. I agree.
So, um, offensive grade. What do you give it?
Ooh, D minus.
All right, I'm going to go with B minus, and I'm going to go with B minus because the offense actually had a good overall game. They did not have a horrible game except the turnovers.
And okay,
Otherwise,
I I'm just a basketball player, so I think that's why it bothers me so much because, like in basketball, turnovers are just such a negative.
yeah,
And truthfully, like the Bears offense wasn't awful, but like they're just crucial turnovers. That's all my mind goes to.
yep.
And I think people like I'm not like a big stat person all the time, and like it's hard for me to like break down the game with analytics. But when you see those two crucial turnovers in the fourth quarter, like I just can't justify giving it over a C. Like I can't.
I'll change mine to a C plus. How about that?
Okay.
What about the defense?
you know, Again, it's hard for me because I actually don't think they had that good of a game, but they stepped up when it was needed. And so then I'm like, well, they did help, but they still allowed 24 points. That's
So hold on. Let me. You have to be fair to a defense when you're asking a bunch of professional athletes to stop professional athletes from doing their job. So
yeah.
sometimes they're going to do their job, right? What the Bears did is they gave the ball to that offense inside the 50-yard line 4 times.
So that's why the offense D. They failed.
That is also why the defense gave up 24 points. If you take two of those easy turnovers that led immediately to points, if you take two of those away, then that's 14 points.
Yeah.
And this game is suddenly 17-14 and a much more winnable and manageable game. And then if you add back in the point that, if we had not run the first interception, then again, you're looking for, I mean, that's, you're talking about 31-3 game at that point.
Yeah.
So it, I think the defense made some better plays. Could have stopped on third down, maybe a little bit better, but let's give them a C also, because
Yeah.
I do think that they played a little bit better than C plus. I'm sorry, C plus, because I think that they played a little bit better than what they're given credit for when I look at what really happened on that game. Like when we look at the team stats, I mean, let's take a quick look here. The Bears put up 368 yards. The Saints only had 301. Only gave up 87 rushing yards and only 200 passing yards. Well, we gave up We had 156 yards rushing. We were averaging 5.8 yards a play. They were averaging 4.9. Third down efficiency was 50%. They had more third down plays, but Bears had more first downs.
Wow.
Fourth down, they were 1 for 1. We were 0 for 1. We stopped them when it mattered. So there's a lot here. This is where the for 71 yards versus one penalty for 5 yards. And then
That's insane.
right, and then the turnover game. When you have all of this happening over here, that's just absolutely insane how much that affected the game overall. So, what about special teams? How do we do on special teams?
I honestly, I have no idea. I truly didn't watch too much.
All right,
I saw the biggest I saw a lot of the but I was at work. I only saw the first touchdown really and one of the interceptions. So
this is where I'm gonna go with a D
Mhm.
because Cairo Santos hit the
Oh, he
upright.
missed that field goal.
Yeah, and our man, the true patriot of all Bears, Velas Jones Jr. came up with the big penalty
Yeah.
with the game on the line, adding 15 yards to what was a nice return, giving the ball back to the Saints already in field goal range.
Yeah, no, that's just unacceptable.
So now we had a short week. It's going to be a short week,
Yeah.
and then who's next on the roster here? Thursday night, I want to say. I believe it's Thursday night football. Is that
Yeah,
right?
we played Thursday night Panthers.
Carolina Panthers, right?
Yep.
So the Carolina Panthers are on tap, and you got to make a prediction now. What is it going to be? Is first of all, is Justin Fields going to start? And number two, what's the final score?
So, I actually think Justin Fields is going to start. I think he's going to come back. Um, and I think he's going to have a breakout game. And I think he'll lead us to a victory. And I think the defense is really going to step up. Carolina's been struggling, all year too. And I think they're going to hold them to, you know what? I'm going to go to 17.
Okay, I will say that Tyson Bagent gets one more start because it's a short week,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
and Tyson Bagent will have a historical game in the context of the Bears because he will have a lot to prove. And the Bears are going to score 42 points on the Carolina Panthers.
I wish.
And it's going to be 42-17 when it's all
Okay.
said and done. I think that this will be a breakout game for Bagent. This will be probably his last start of the season. I think that he's really rattled by the fact that he made these mistakes and he recognized how easy it was to make those mistakes. I think he'll adapt. First of all, he's Division II, right? So he's never played at this speed, but he's very rapidly learning how to play at this speed. So he's still got mistakes to make, rookie mistakes. Peyton Manning again, 28 interceptions in his first season. So there were also 2 touchdowns, those 3 interceptions, and sometimes you're pressured at the end of the game, and
Yeah.
you make you lose the ball. He got hit from behind. That's not him. That's the offensive line. Now you can say it's his internal clock, but I don't think that really quantifies because he was looking for a play because he had to make a play to lead this team, and
Yeah.
he just got caught. And I don't think that those kind of things are going to keep happening. I think that we're on the verge right now of him having a breakout game to close out his short Bears career. I think he'll be a serviceable backup, probably for us again next year. I don't think that I would not. I would from Justin Fields. I would not.
I agree.
The more I think about it, the more I let it stew over. The more I look at Caleb Williams, the more I look at Justin. I don't think that that's a tremendous upgrade, the likes of which it's worth the number 1 overall pick or the number 2 pick or anything like that, or moving up or making any changes. Montez Sweat is here. Jalen Johnson, they're talking out loud about what make a big deal with him. I think that this team, got to do something about TJ Edwards. TJ Edwards not been the playmaker that I was hoping that he would be, but Jack Sanborn has been. So,
Yeah.
I think the Bears have some key pieces and some good pieces, and It's all going to start coming together. I told you the second half of the season is going to be good. The first game of the second half did not end the way that we wanted it, but it's just the start, and we can see the improvement. We just didn't see it in the final result.
Yeah. I mean, hey, 5 turnovers, lose by a touchdown. You can take a lot of positive away from that. You even eliminate just 2 of them, like we were talking about, and it's a whole different ball game. So
Right.
there was good, even though it didn't end how we wanted to, and it looks bad in a way, but there really was good. So
Yep. Yeah. Everything that you make a mistake on gets exacerbated because of previous mistakes that you've
yep,
made. And when you get forced into action, then it just looks worse. Like we're looking at DJ Moore like, oh my God, how'd you fumble that ball? When's the last time he fumbled the ball? 2019.
true.
So,
That's very, very true.
Bagent, when's the last time he threw interceptions? Oh yeah, it was last week. God damn it. That didn't work out nearly as well. But my point is, my point is some people are going to make mistakes and some people are going to learn from those mistakes. And we're going to find out really who this team is next week, I think, because it's a short week. The team's going to be inspired, to be ready to go. And I think that they've got something to prove. And I think that they felt like they were going to prove it this week. I think that the game got away from them when it shouldn't
Yeah,
have. They were, forced mistakes, just some forced mistakes. If calm down, then I think this is going to be a little bit different next week. But I guess that's it.
I'm excited. So
All right, guys. Until next time, bear down, Chicago Bears.
bear
My
down.
name's Bleeves,
My name's Maddie.
and we will see you guys again very, very soon. And we'll give something to get crazy about pretty soon.
Hopefully.